The truth set you free. In an age of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. All right, welcome to another episode of TVM Report. Let me know where you are viewing from the Pineapple to the Big Apple, from Maine to Spain. You know where you have arrived, live on Twitch and Twitter, and we're going to see you on YouTube in just a little bit. Make sure you like, comment, and share this material. That is the very best and most efficient way to help out this channel, is just by viewing for free. If you really want to leave us a tip at the door, we got that CashApp, we got that PayPal, Patreon. Again, we give you no false information here. We give you no hopium. We just drop the dopium. And this is where the proof meets the truth. Now, this is another difficult topic. As always, nobody wants to hear about good old Tim Ballard. Right? Nobody wants to hear about Tim Ballard, because Tim Ballard's saving the children. Tim Ballard is a great guy. How many great guys in history ended up in prison? How many? You let me know, right? So again, thank you so much for joining me again on Twitch and Twitter. I really do appreciate all of your support. Welcome everybody. Northern Ireland, how you doing? Look at that. That's great. I just had a crazy Irishman threaten to blow my head off yesterday. Very nice. Welcome. I love Ireland. I love it. I fucking love it. I love it. All right, so today we're going to get into more of the Tim Ballard stuff. Welcome everybody once again. I appreciate you. So as people start to arrive, they are going to start to see what we're going to get into today. This is something related to Operation Underground Rescue. Again, this is research from the op-ed of Lynn Packer, who literally wrote the book on Mormon corruption. Utah, very, very heavy involved in the Mormon religion. So what we're going to do now, we're going to look at this thing called the Nazarene Fund, that not only... Look at these guys. Who's that guy in the middle? No, it's not the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters. That is Glenn Beck. He is hefty in that one, allegedly. Whoa, I didn't realize he was such a hefty fella. I didn't realize he had that like a defensive lineman build. The right to his right is Tim Ballard, the current CEO, who has left the company previously. You will see in other episodes. If you watch the rest of this series before, you're going to see a lot of interesting yet very shocking stuff about these guys that has been discovered by Mr. Packer. And we are going to unpack what he has packed. And anybody catching me on Twitch right now, you're going to see a lot about this organization. This is a very large charity. These are people that have claimed to be saving the children. But when you follow the money, you find that that could be just a smokescreen for what's actually going on with some of the orphanages that this organization is involved with. So now let's get into the Nazarene Fund. This is something, this is Utah. This is more affinity fraud. This is using elders of the church, right? So let's keep this going.
Fund Where have all the millions gone?
Where have all the millions gone?
The Nazarene Fund, often referred to as TNF, is among Operation Underground Railroad related entities being investigated by the Davis County Attorney's Office. It was founded by conservative political commentator Glenn Beck and later run by Tim Ballard, O.U.R's CEO. TNF's initial primary mission: aid Middle Eastern Christians and eventually Yazidis being persecuted by ISIS terrorists who were on a kidnapping, raping, extorting, pillaging, desecrating, and murdering rampage. That ISIS war had begun 15 months earlier. So, how did Nazarene Fund get its name and symbol?
This actually,
When
when
ISIS
you
terrorists
think, okay, so this is something I need everybody here to understand something. From here on, in this presentation, in this commentary that I'm doing today, from here on, you are going to hear triggering and disturbing material regarding children, regarding some military operations, and where this Nazarene symbol comes from. It's disturbing. So I'm giving you a warning now, okay? I need you to fasten your seatbelt. And I have the comments set so that you have to be in here for at least 30 minutes before you're allowed to comment in my chat. So keep that in mind if you are trying to comment and you are messaging me to say that you can't. You have to spend a little time here first. All right, you got to listen before you can talk. That's my rule. I think it's pretty reasonable. Let's go.
Captured Mosul in 2014, they painted the Arabic letter N, which stands for Nazarene, on Christian homes and churches.
This is not good.
Christians to convert, pay a tax, be killed, or leave. Pro-Christian groups adopted the symbol in opposition to ISIS persecuting Christians. A year later, Mercury One acquired it to designate its newly formed Nazarene Fund. A lawsuit revealed Beck was in financial trouble at least a year before Nazarene was formed. On December 2014,
okay, and I want you to pay close attention. When Glenn Beck would get on his program, you would see him talking about things like this. These organizations. Hey, what's up, Al? These organizations are the ones that Beck is helping to finance through his network program, his podcast, using those platforms as a way to get more money for this fund. This is not good. So if there's anybody here that really, really supports or likes these guys, you need to see these. You need to see the series that I'm doing and bringing it out because it's really quite obscure. I'm so surprised at how few views and how little people have gone and looked at Mr. Packer's research. So hopefully that I could bring some light to his work, because this is where I'm getting this from. His name is Lynn Packer. Okay, it's very extensive.
Beck fired his former chief executive, Chris Balfe. Balfe's 2016 countersuit said, by 2014, Mercury Radio Arts, Beck's private umbrella company, faced immense cash pressures as services continued to decline, ad sales lagged, and deals fell through. He said Beck has driven Mercury Radio Arts into the ground due to his own erratic behavior, excessive spending, and mismanagement. Between 2016 and 2018, Glenn Beck's money problems got worse. He donned a MAGA hat in support of Trump after opposing him in 2016. Politico reported that Beck's attacks on Trump in 2016, calling him a narcissistic psychopath, upset Trump's followers and was hurting Beck financially. He laid off employees. He put his $5 million residence on the market, and he offered his private jet for sale. Beck's media empire woes were
Oops-a-daisy.
The Daily Beast.
What? You know, I've heard bits and pieces of this, and I just want to let everybody know when I do this, this is commentary. If I did not speak, first of all, it wouldn't be commentary, and that's what I do. Secondly, if I did not do commentary, then it would be just me running somebody else's content. That's not what I want to do. I want to bring you guys some really good information that you are not going to find, because I'm a little cuckoo bananas about this stuff. And when I get my nose on a scent, you know what I'm saying? I do not give up. I do not quit. Glenn Beck selling the jet. That was a big plane.
Reported, Glenn Beck's media empire implodes again. And when Beck was pressed to explain his financial problems on CNN's reliable sources, he quit the interview and walked out.
There's this new
Oh, this is really good. I saw this.
Trouble, that you were trying to find a buyer. Is this related to the point about people not talking to each other? That if you want to create that media company, there's not interest? What's going on with that?
Wow. Brian, thanks a lot. I think that's the most ridiculous question I've ever heard. I'm sitting here ready to talk. It's been happening. We want to stop it, and you want to play those games? Have a nice day.
What game did I just play?
Seriously.
So the question on the Daily Beast website, the headline says Glenn Beck's media empire is imploding again. That's the headline.
That's the headline. Seriously, he should have read it before he came in here.
Has been trying to sell the Blaze.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
While Beck's media ship was sinking in 2011, he founded.
Say, Glenn, I just wanted to ask you, first of all, that's a fabulous jacket and outfit that you're wearing. It's really fabulous. I wanted to know, first of all, where did you get it? And second of all, how do I get it, if you know what I mean? How do I get a little piece of that Beck? How do I get some of that Beck deck? You know what I'm saying? Get me on that Beck deck. On deck with Beck. Do you know what I'm saying? Can we start something like that? Can you and I perhaps maybe find like some kind of, I don't know, maybe at least a quart of some kind of baby oil and just get going to, I mean, let's just get crazy, because it doesn't have to be like a swarthy gay picnic. It could just be like a couple of guys, you know, just in a sauna with some baby oil. I mean, whatever. You know, it's just a massage. It's just my body on your body. It's not going to hurt anybody. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just a little.
The nonprofit Mercury.
I'm sorry. That CNN guy just really grinds my gears. He tips my cart. He tips my apple cart.
M1. In 2015, he created the Nazarene Fund within M1. He made false claims to solicit donations, and he provided almost no detail about Nazarene's finances. What are the chances he or Ballard diverted any of the millions of dollars raised for Nazarene? Is Beck's Mercury One nonprofit operating illegally? He's not disclosed enough information to tell, but there are some red flags. There's been no public reporting for 2 years. Millions coming in while Beck's for-profits are losing millions. There's been incessant pitches for donations. Many claims are false, and Nazarene's achievements often exaggerated. Is Nazarene part of Mercury One or Operation Underground Railroad? There's a lot of conflicting information about that. Next, I'll talk about some of the false statements Ballard and Beck make about Nazarene. First up, Tim Ballard's assertion that Glenn Beck rescued 10,000 Christians before ISIS attacked. But first, a word about Ballard's flattery role. Ballard is to Glenn Beck what Mike Pence is to Donald Trump, to heap praise and extreme flattery. NBC News reported Trump has made Mike Pence the sycophant-in-chief. Ballard is Beck's sycophant-in-chief. Tim Ballard compares Glenn Beck to Oskar Schindler. Ballard said, "I love what Oskar Schindler did, getting 1,200 people out, but Ballard insists Glenn Beck saved more Christians than Schindler saved Jews. He said Glenn got 10,000 people out of the Middle East before ISIS came in."
In 2015, Glenn Beck started the Nazarene Fund to get the Christian people out of the Middle East, out of Iraq, as ISIS was rolling in. He moved 10,000 people out. I love what Oskar Schindler did during, getting 1,200 Jews out. What an amazing story. Glenn got 10,000 of people out of the Middle East and into safety before ISIS came in. And once they came in, we know what they did. Sex slave markets like we've never seen. Christian Yazidi children and women killed the men.
Glenn Beck also compared himself to Oskar Schindler. It was during a Newsmax interview more than a year after ISIS page. Glenn Beck on Syrian refugees, I'll save more people than Schindler. Radio commentator Glenn Beck is vowing to smuggle persecuted Christians into the United States, even if it lands him in jail. Newsmax quoted Beck.
Fair enough. I mean, if that's what you want to do, if you just want to go and say, hey, like if you're going to do something like low key, if you're going to try and do something, like let me just give you a little advice. If you want to smuggle something, you might not want to use that word in a fucking press release, is all I'm saying.
I asked if my audience could raise $10 million
Call me crazy.
before Christmas to bring the Christians in from Syria. We'll vet them ourselves. I have former CIA people that are going over, and they're vetting everybody right now. We can save more people by Christmas. Oskar Schindler saved, okay?
Oh, wait.
Flying refugees to Mexico.
Oh, so former CIA people, meaning Tim Ballard. Because Tim Ballard was in the CIA and the DHS. So, okay, so that's cool. Yeah, that's fine. That checks out. That's totally cool that everybody is talking about children and this and that and going around and doing this and getting this money, going to orphanages in effing Haiti. Okay. And that's not suspicious at all. So that checks out. So yeah. Okay. Whatever. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Here's what first tipped me off to start looking. And this is how I found Mr. Packer, is because why is this guy making so many movies and why are these people supporting it? Why are the grifters supporting this project? Okay. Hold on. I gotta work with this camera a little bit. Is that working? You just got to keep it close to the face. I get it. Okay, man, this camera's really difficult at this angle. Anyway, so you have these organizations that are connected to the CIA. I mean, what? Hello? Sorry. I don't buy it. If someone is in the CIA and they're doing something like this, to me, there's no good CIA guy, no matter what, even if they're whistleblowers and especially people, like Robert David Steele, who has jumped on the bandwagon of this whole money train Q thing because his wife allegedly, apparently is throwing him out of the house. That is merely a guess, a supposition from the looks of it and the look on his face when he talks about his wife. Anyway, that's not the point. The point is CIA, no. For me, anyway. That's a hard no for me, right? I don't know about y'all, but, and let me know in the chat, seriously, hello, chat. Wake up, guys. I know this is some fascinating stuff, but keep it going. Let me know you're alive. Good Lord, don't get so mesmerized. But I know my beard is growing in and it's looking good. And it really is kind of mesmerizing. I stare at it quite a bit myself. It's like, how does he look? How does he do that? That's like, what is he, like an Italian, like Viking? Like, how does he do that with his beard? All right. How does he do it?
Mexico, and then marching alongside them as they cross into the United States. Checking the facts, it never happened. Ballard and Beck made false fundraising pitches. Beck did not rescue 10,000 Christians before ISIS attacked. After ISIS attacked, Beck was never able to fly Christian refugees to Mexico and smuggle them into the United States.
Which sounds like an extraordinarily bad idea, and it sounds a whole lot like human trafficking to me. I mean, if it's not human trafficking, what is it? What is that? What is that? Is that not, is this not human trafficking? I mean, let's just hear this just one more time. What is the process again? You're taking them from where to what?
From Syria.
What?
We'll vet them ourselves. I have former CIA people that are going over.
Okay,
They're
Syria.
vetting everybody right now. We can save more people by Christmas than Oscar Schindler saved, okay? Beck suggested flying the refugees to Mexico and then marching alongside them as they cross into the United States. Checking the facts, it never happened. Ballard and Beck made false fundraising pitches.
Where's the money?
Beck did not rescue 10,000 Christians
Fuck all that. Where's the money?
Before ISIS attacked. After ISIS attacked, Beck was never able to fly Christian refugees.
Hey, where? Well, he's going to tell us probably, but where's the money? Where is the fucking money?
Refugees to Mexico and smuggle them.
See, this is what all these grifters are doing. This is just on a bigger scale. All right, all the shit that you see with all these little friggin' Rodriguez's and all these McKays and all this stuff that goes on with these people with the keeping in their stuff and the Robert David Steele. That's nothing. They are small freaking potatoes. They are small time grifters. They're like little circus pickpockets compared to these guys.
Into the United
This is the big long con.
It's not surprising that both Ballard and Beck embraced Trumpism and mastered the art of the lie. Ballard's claim about Beck rescuing 10,000.
Do you think that I'm able to see all this bullshit because I was some angel? No. Okay? No, but I could see it. And it's very clear. And some people can't because they're too nice and they're too good and they're too fucking innocent, quite frankly, to even be able to see a scam, because it's unfortunate, right, that people are caught up in all of this shit when it's all just, it's so clear. It's clear as day for anybody that has any experience with any kind of scamming or grifting, or anybody in the past who has done anything stupid or even sold drugs or whatever, which can be pretty profitable, quite honestly. It is still the largest industry in the world, is narcotics, and right up there with internet theft and things like that. Human trafficking is up there, but not quite as bad. So don't let those stats fool you. Let's go.
Christians before ISIS attacked, among a multitude of false fundraising statements, shows that the bigger the lie, the more effective it can be to persuade donors to pour millions of dollars into the Nazarene Fund. There are lots more untrue Ballard and Beck fundraising pitches. One was that no one was really watching ISIS kidnapping and raping religious minorities in Iraq. Another, that no one was really helping get ISIS captives out of harm's way, and giving the false impression that the Nazarene Fund had been helping rescue women and girls from sex slavery in the Middle East.
That's the emotional grift. That's the emotion that they hit you with.
The war in Syria is raging on, and ISIS and other militia groups are now using the COVID-19 pandemic to...
Oh, look at the look on his face. And look at the... okay. That painting behind him. Gross.
Regroup and grow stronger. People in Western Syria are fleeing, trying to get into Kurdistan, but they're trapped at the border and they are in deep, deep trouble.
I gotta say, even though I do not like Glenn Beck, his microphone sounds fucking stellar. Holy shit. Wow. Whoa. Wow. I can't stand this guy, but his mic is dialed the fuck in, son. Listen to this.
We are able to get access to them with supplies from Iraq, but we need your help. We need more.
Let me just tell you something. This guy may be, allegedly, and this is OpEd, so this is my opinion, but this guy may be a thieving bag of dicks. But Lord of Lord, does he sound like a baritone angel or what? Okay, or what? Perfect setup. Perfect turn, like it's just right in the sweet spot for his particular voice. Wow, that's great. I wish I had an engineer.
The war in Syria is raging on, And ISIS and other militia groups are now using the COVID-19 pandemic to regroup and grow.
You know, I mean, I know about microphones and I have a lot of recording experience, you know, producing, working in studios, placing mics live, blah, 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 blah. But I'll tell you, engineers are different.
Stronger. People in Western Syria are fleeing, trying to get into Kurdistan, but they're trapped at the border and they are in deep, deep trouble. We are able to get access to them with supplies from Iraq, but we need your help.
Oh boy.
We need more supplies.
Oh boy.
Everyone has left.
We need more supplies. Everyone has left them but us.
But us.
Wow.
Food is now really scarce. Medical facilities are unable to reach them, but we can reach them with medical supplies. As I said, we are the last man standing.
You right now, ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, allegedly in a video game, you are watching one of the greatest, one of the best grifters of all time. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Glenn Beck.
As you knew we always would be. The Nazarene Fund.
Help us help the Christians, Beck pleaded. It is simply not true that everyone has left them but us, and that we are the last man standing. Those false claims demean the dozens of governmental and charitable groups helping those who fled ISIS terror and the Syrian-Iraqi civil wars.
Including Victor Marx.
2 Utah examples. Utah Friends of O.U.R and LDS Charities stood up and are still standing. They support the British Foundation, O.U.R, and are helping ISIS victims. One of their joint projects was establishing a health center at one of the largest Yazidi refugee camps. Stan Parrish, board president of O.U.R's Utah affiliate, said he's never heard of the Nazarene Fund. 350,000 Yazidis live in Kurdistan refugee camps supported by O.U.R. For example, one camp's medical clinics and bakery are aided by LDS Charities. On to some more Ballard Whoppers.
The Nazarene Fund was established as a result of a horrific tragedy that happened in 2014 and 2015. You remember this, when ISIS attacked Iraq. They brutalized, they destroyed their villages, they killed many of the men, and they took many of the women and even the children and forced them into sex slavery. And no one was really watching, and no one was really doing much to help. And so Glenn Beck and Mercury One founded the Nazarene Fund as an effort to help these people, to get them out of harm's way and get them into safety.
There are more false statements to prospective donors. The truth is, the world was watching on television. ISIS posted videos of beheadings, mass murders, and kidnapped women and girls. This image is from a widely rebroadcast video uploaded by ISIS slave traders in October of 2014, bragging about how they buy and sell Yazidi sex slaves. Not only was the world watching, governments were also doing something. The ISIS wave of kidnapping, rape, and murder drew the attention of governments around the world. A full year before Nazarene was even founded, a coalition of countries, many of whom were enemies among themselves, engaged to drive ISIS out of Iraq and Syria and help free men, women, and children held in bondage. It took years and billions of dollars. The anti-ISIS coalition was led by United States President Barack Obama.
Last night, on my orders, America's armed forces began strikes against ISIL targets in Syria. Earlier this month, I outlined for the American people our strategy to confront the threat posed by the terrorist group known as ISIL. I made clear that as part of this campaign, the United States would take action against targets in both Iraq and Syria, so that these terrorists can't find safe haven anywhere. I also made clear that America would act as part of a broad coalition. We were joined in this action by our friends and partners, Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Jordan, Bahrain, and Qatar. The strength of this coalition makes it clear to the world this is not America's fight alone. Above all, the people and governments of the Middle East are rejecting ISIL. And more broadly, over 40 nations have offered to help in this comprehensive effort to confront this terrorist threat.
It took coalition forces 4 years to dismantle the Islamic Caliphate. President Donald Trump completed the mission and claimed victory in December 2018. That victory speech was premature, but ISIS was eventually defeated in 2019 on his watch.
I've been president for almost 2 years, and we've really stepped it up, and we have won against ISIS. We've beaten them, and we've beaten them badly. We've taken back the land, and now it's time for our troops to come back home.
Next, I'll talk about the Nazarene Fund's so-called Christian rescue. It was all part of Nazarene myth-making, creating false impressions. One myth: Christians were more persecuted by ISIS terrorists than other religious groups. The fact is, ISIS, the extreme right-wing Muslim cult, persecuted far more fellow Muslims and Yazidis than Christians. Another myth: ISIS, beginning in 2013, launched attacks in Iraq and Syria that resulted in a massive flight of Christians. The fact: Christians had already begun steadily migrating out of the Middle East for more than a century, and the largest spike occurred during the United States' disastrous war against Iraq, not during the ISIS attack. Nazarene was created as a fund within Mercury One a year after the Allies counterattacked ISIS. In other words, Nazarene was late to the game. Hundreds of thousands of refugees had already fled to safer parts of Iraq, to neighboring countries, and also into Europe. Thousands of Iraqi Catholics had been in an Erbil, Kurdistan Catholic Church refugee camp for more than a year when Nazarene got involved. After engaging, Nazarene helped a few thousand refugees already in camps seek residence in Slovakia and Australia. Later, Nazarene began helping Catholics and Yazidis return to their bombed-out villages. Ballard vastly inflated Christian refugee numbers. He wrote, in 2014, ISIS was on the warpath. Within just a year, the Christian population had been decimated, declining from 3 million to just 300,000. Ballard's numbers were way off. In 2003, there were about 800,000 to 1.5 million Christians, the estimates vary, living in Iraq. That number declined rapidly due to America's 2003 war against Iraq. Christians enjoyed relatively good religious freedom under Saddam Hussein, much less under the successor US-backed Iraqi regime. By 2015, there were only about 500,000 Christians or fewer left in Iraq, not the 3 million Ballard claims. This chart shows the percentage of Christians in the Middle East. Most were in these 5 countries. Look at the scale across the bottom. In 1900, the biggest percentage was in Syria, the smallest in Iraq. Over the next century, both steadily declined to very small fractions. Note that the disastrous American war in Iraq sparked a significant exodus, followed by Iraqi and Syrian civil wars. By the time ISIS attacked, there were hardly any Christians left to flee. Nazarene's first mission in 2016 was mostly about resettling Christians, not Muslims or Yazidis. Most Christians had already fled in 2014 on their own as ISIS took control. A majority was camped in Kurdistan's capital, Erbil, where upwards of 450,000 refugees had come and gone since 2003. One of several camps was run by a Catholic church supported by multiple charities. The fact is, most Christians had rescued themselves from ISIS. Ballard's and Beck's repeated use of the word rescue is a huge stretch. Christians had been in the camps for more than a year and a half when Beck got involved. The next step was resettling. Some wanted to relocate elsewhere in Iraq. Others wanted to wait and return to their villages. Nazarene's initial goal was to resettle those who wanted to emigrate to other countries and leave Iraq altogether.
I'm actually curious as to what type of plans they had for orphanages and kids. And anytime these guys seem to go somewhere, there's got something to do with kids and orphanages, just like in Haiti. It seems like they sort of have a international interface here that they're working with to get to different parts of the world: Syria, South America, Haiti, right?
Typical news coverage of Beck's early fundraising showed that in the beginning, Beck's charity helped evacuate persecuted Christians from Iraq. Nazarene prioritized Christian refugees over Muslims, Yazidis, and Jews. Glenn Beck's Nazarene Fund wanted potential host countries to give Christians priority over other religions. But most countries, including the United States and Canada, would not prioritize Christians. Only Australia and Slovakia would give them preference. Beck first tried to get the United States to take all of the estimated 140,000 Christian refugees, but if not, at least some of them.
We have 140,000 Christians that are left. We could grow the Nazarene Fund. We could afford to bring almost all of those people out. What is it? Yeah, 140,000. We wouldn't have to take them all here. Take a small number of them here. We already have the first group going to Slovakia. Our government is not going to take them. And it's wrong.
Here's a look at Tim Ballard's Christian-centric fundraising messaging. His donation plea centered on Nazarene's purported rescue of Christians. He falsely asserted that the Nazarene Fund is the only group here for the Christians. Truth is, many other groups supported Christian refugees. He falsely claimed that these are the people we liberated from ISIS. Most Christians had fled from ISIS on their own almost 2 years earlier. He claimed many Christian children he rescued were sex slaves. But besides rescuing no sex slaves at all, far and away most actual sex slaves were Yazidis, not Christians.
They keep telling us everywhere we go, the recurring theme, the Nazarene Fund is the only group here for the Christians. Again, these are the people who we liberated from ISIS. Many of them were children who were sex slaves, thousands of them, women who were sex slaves. Many of them don't have their fathers and their husbands because they were killed. And there's no one but the Nazarene Fund.
They certainly liberated the microphones from this situation. I'm so sorry.
That's coming in and supporting this shelter and this safe house.
Obviously,
Ballard
you have to think about
the
it.
talk that Nazarene does not walk when he says Nazarene Fund is the only group here for Christians.
Packer dropping the
These are
mic.
the people we liberated from ISIS, or that many of them were children who were sex slaves. Ballard often conflates the plight of Christians with the plight of Yazidis. In truth, Nazarene did play a key role in resettling many Christians to Slovakia and Australia. Nazarene did it right. Most refugees who fled to Europe in the hundreds of thousands went illegally without permission. Nazarene, on the other hand, did it lawfully. Its operatives sought and received permission, passports, and visas. The Christian refugee idea did not originate with Glenn Beck, but with Donald Trump's apprentice producer, Mark Burnett. His wife, Roma Downey, lived in Park City and starred in the television series Touched by an Angel, which was shot in Utah.
Okay, this is about to get very interesting. This is about to get very, very interesting.
Burnett heard about the endangered encampment of Christian refugees and contacted former CIA agents Joseph and Michelle Assad for help. Reverend Johnny Moore, an international humanitarian expert, supplemented the Assad's expertise, and most important, went on Glenn Beck's television show to raise money.
Oh, really?
Moore was the inspiration
Did
for
you really?
and co-founder of the Nazarene Fund.
Interesting.
Glenn Beck became Nazarene's bank. For about 2 years, the Nazarene Fund was merely a page in the Mercury One charities.
I want you to look at that very carefully. Glenn Beck became Nazarene's bank. This is where they got their money.
Spreadsheet.
And, we were hoping we'd save a few families here and there, and, we'd do some good. And now we're looking at moving entire communities and saving generations.
Okay, real quick, I want to touch base on one thing. And again, I'm not asking you for a dime. If you want to donate, you can. Now at mercury1.org, go to glennbeck.com, look for the Nazarene Fund.
That's
you can
tricky.
donate if you want. What I am asking you now, until we start moving families, until I can.
That's tricky. That's what I do, except I actually mean it. And he means if you want to, he's like, don't, but do. He's like, just, this is how I'm going to say, do it. Like, I just tell you, like, I really don't care. It's not going to make a difference. I'd much prefer somebody watch my videos for an hour or two here and there than give me $100. These guys want the money. They don't want you. They already got plenty of people watching their stuff. This is the grift. Here it is. Okay. What is with his pause? What is wrong with Glenn Beck's pause? Hold on. I pause for pause. Let me just go back a little bit and hear what he says, because I just got to hear this. He is so slick. Oh, Glenn Beck is so awesome. I mean, he is very, very good. Very good.
And saving generations.
Okay, real quick, I want to touch base on one thing. And again, I'm not asking you for a dime. If you want to donate, you can. Now.mercury1.org, go to glennbeck.com, look for the Nazarene Fund.
Look at the Star of David behind him. He is going for all of it. He is just trying to take everything.
You can donate if you want. What
Look
I
at
am
him go.
asking you now, until we start moving families, until I can show to you, here's the fruit.
Until I can show to you that I have hands.
Of what you've already done.
And I don't want you to donate, but I feel like if you don't, then I will not have hands. Hands will not be a part of the Nazarene Fund program. My hands, I don't need hands. Okay, I don't need hands, because you know what we need to do? We need to save the children, and I'm going to give my hands for that cause.
But I am asking you for prayers.
And this horrible
right
symbol
now,
that they got,
about to go into this.
That's a persecuting symbol that they put on their door in Mosul. How nice.
Next phase.
But now, more than money, we need people to pray that this all works perfectly.
Oh my
ABC
God.
and other news organizations documented Nazarene's effort and reported on the other people and organizations that helped. With about $12 million in the bank, the Nazarene team was able to fly Iraqi Christians to their new home in Slovakia. In 2017, Nazarene underwent a makeover. It was made an independent organization, no longer just a ledger spreadsheet. It changed direction on Christian emigration. Tim Ballard was appointed CEO. What remains unclear, did Nazarene remain under Mercury One, or was it moved over to Operation Underground Railroad?
Sorry, because that would be very interesting. And it seems to me that might create some kind of conflict of interest somewhere along the line there. I would have to look into that more. I can't say that just from hearing it, but it just feels like, you know what I mean? It just, with all that I'm hearing, if I was an investigator, I would need to look at that, because it feels inky. You know what I mean? I feel like somebody's behind the door and they got a gun. So if I hear something behind the door, I don't need to see it. I'm just going to shoot through the door. I mean, in that video game, that's what you do, right? You know that it's a friend. Could it be an innocent person behind the door? Not with a gun. Hiding. Why are you hiding behind the door? You're not innocent if you're hiding behind the door. See, that's the problem with horror movies. You're not innocent if you're hiding behind the door.
Operation Underground Railroad.
If you're innocent, you're in the closet. Okay? That's where the innocent people are. The innocent people are in the closet, peeking through the closet flaps, straps, whatever the fuck those things are. And they're looking out and they're waiting for the whoever to come in. Right? Am I right? Since when is a okay? The innocent people hide in the closet. Okay? So fact check me.
Road and the Nazarene Fund.
And I'm talking about in a bedroom scene, all right? there's a lot of other hiding places. So you can't go, oh no, this guy hid outside by the lake in the lake house. He went climbed up a tree. He went to the lake house and he hid in the bathroom. They're always going to hide in the lake house in the bathroom. Okay. And then if in the lake house on the other side of where the house is, if there's a bedroom, they're hiding in the closet. Okay. That's how the movie's going to go. Now, stop it. And when I mean that, I'm talking to me.
O.U.R is a nonprofit. Was formed by Tim Ballard, but fathered by Glenn Beck in 2013. Its major aim, to free purported child sex slaves from pedophiles in foreign countries. Nazarene is not registered with the IRS as a nonprofit. It was formed by Glenn Beck in 2015. Its major aim, resettle some Middle Eastern Christian and Yazidi refugees to foreign countries and return others to their homeland. As I mentioned, in 2017, Tim Ballard became CEO of Nazarene when it changed course. Here's some more detail about the Nazarene Fund's refresh. To that point, it had taken in about $18 million. Here's a press release on November 27th. Timothy Ballard, founder of Operation Underground Railroad, and Glenn Beck, founder of Mercury One's The Nazarene Fund, announced a new partnership Monday with the goal to earn $25 million to save more slaves on a worldwide scale. As part of the announcement, Beck named Ballard as the new CEO, which seeks to liberate captive Christians and other religious minorities held in terrorist-controlled hostile regions in the Middle East and Africa. Here's Nazarene's organization chart. Leadership fell to Tim Ballard. The directors were Glenn Beck, David Barton, and Tim Ballard, and the actual work was contracted to an outside company. The contractor is White Mountain Research. They're Nazarene's boots on the ground. The CEO is Rudy Atala. He's former Lebanese Christian militia.
Look, if you guys ever get like a little lonely looking at this and you're like, hey, where are you? I'm usually just like watching. I just want you guys to see the screen bigger. But if you need me, I want to let you know I'm here. Okay. If you need me, see, look, here I am. All right. See, I didn't go anywhere. I didn't leave you. All right. I didn't go nowhere. It's all right. Look, see, look. Hey, peekaboo. There I am. Okay. Don't worry. Don't get anxious. I'm just kidding. I'm just trying to kill a little time because I know a hard break's coming.
And a former officer in the United States Air Force. He and his team speak the languages and know the culture to carry out Nazarene's missions in the Middle East. Atala says Nazarene is under Mercury One, not O.U.R, but his company also partners with O.U.R. He says it's important for persecuted native Christians to stay in Iraq and Syria rather than emigrate. Did Mercury One and Nazarene ever split?
And that right there, guys, that is where we are going to leave it until the next episode, which is going to be part 5. Did Mercury One and Nazarene ever split? Well, that's going to be part 5. All right, so we're going to see you on that one. And next time, let's get you woken up and get you guys a little more coffee. Usually a lot more talkative. That chat cracking next time we do this, all right? So make sure you like, comment, and share on this episode. Next one is going to be episode part 5. Well, part 5, not episode, part 5. So if you want to, leave us a tip, we got the CashApp, we got the PayPal, and we got the Patreon, all right? So join one of those if you are so inclined. If not, do go to my YouTube page, like, comment, and share. Please view a lot of these videos. There's a lot of great information. I work real hard to bring you the very best that I can do, all right? And it's a lot better than a lot of these other yo-yos are bringing you, all right? Because they're bringing you bullshit, all right? And it's bullshit that pushes this guy's movie career. This Tim Ballard, he's not a movie producer. He's not supposed to be a fucking movie producer. He's supposed to be saving kids, okay? This sounds quite familiar to me. Someone who's supposed to be saving kids, yet is making a lot of doing a lot of other shit that's not even related. So again, until next time, I'm so glad you guys joined me today. I really appreciate it. Make sure you like, comment, and share all these. Hit those notifications because you never know when I'm going to jump on here and do something crazy like we did with Walking earlier. I hope you give that a look. That was a lot of fun. So until next time, make sure, okay, use your brain, all right, so that you never, ever have to go get your fucking shine box full send. The truth set you free. I'm out. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. We're going to see you next time. In an age of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act. Make sure you like, follow, and share. I'm going to use my DJ voice now, ladies and gentlemen. All right. It is a Hump Day Wednesday here at the Veritasmachine. I'm Tony D coming at you. We're going to be coming up on the next hour. We're going to be doing Double Shot. Usually we do Double Shot Tuesday, but we're going to be doing it on a Hump Day Wednesday. We're going to put a Double Shot of Rush, Def Leppard, Michael Jackson. All the top 40 hits in 1983. Thank you so much. Good night.